Why, hello everybody. So today we're gonna talk about repurposing old toys and miniatures from the past for your miniature games of today. Today they'll have a ton of miniature games coming out, all fantastic. And I decided to basically, as a cheap alternative, use old ones and repaint them for purposes like, for example, this one, Mansions of Madness, as investigators or cult leaders. Basically, my brother was looking through the house the other day, and he found some Mighty Max miniatures. Mighty Max, if you don't know, being the cartoon of the past in the mid 90s, pretty popular. It was basically the male version of Polly Pocket, and um, and they look great, and especially with the Cthulhu one, as you can see over here. This guy here, I decided to repaint them. And actually the good thing is the paint scouts by themselves were actually already pretty good. So actually you don't have to repaint them, but I want to give them a certain color theme. So I decided to repaint them. And all I did was give them a spray coat of white and then painted over it. You can remove the covering of paint if you want to, I guess, if you don't want the base color, but I feel a good spray of white is okay. Just try to keep it thin. Because, these old miniatures, the first paint coat is pretty thick. So if you spray too hard, you might cover up some detail. Now I'm gonna go into basically just give you an idea why I decided to repaint the color schemes. Now for me, in my base set Mansions of Madness, my cultists were basically Hastur, and so I have, if you look for another videos on the Temple Cack models, which I repainted for Mansions of Madness, I can still use them for Temple Cack. And I have a group called the Axis Conglomerate, which was basically the other Elder Gods priests trying to stop the Hastur ones. So, like this one, you got a Deep One priest, which is for Cthulhu. Alright, there you go. Curtain goes down, and let's see if we can focus. There you go. Now, let's see if I can get light. I guess my hand's better actually. Okay, so as you can see, decided to paint him green with the Cthulhu colors. And I've actually found a spray that I found that over here there was a little gem. So I decided to paint it based on the Ruby O'Reilly, give him glowing eyes. And for Cthulhu, it's being all slimy in the water and all. As you can see, I didn't give him a full gloss coat. I actually do all my models in matte. And the reason for him, even though I wanted him shiny, I didn't spray the whole model with gloss, is because I didn't want the cape to be shiny. So what I did was, just for the ruby and the miniature itself, I would spray matte, waited for it to dry, and then I put PVA glue over it and let it dry. A very thin coat. Then you see now you can get the shiny thing, the shiny effect. For the brain, very important, to get the effect of the brain-like thing, I use the technique of like a very light wash of blue, but for him a bit darker because I wanted to have a huge contrast. And after that, I mixed the blue wash and the green wash together for the brain, and then highlight it just on the veins. So you see that, and that is for my Cthulhu priest. Alright, there you go. And for him, I decided to use him as a mummy for Nyla Hotep. So being from Cthulhu Wars, the colors, I decided to paint the cape all blue, give him yellow eyes, and basically a mummy theme. I call him the Chain Man. There you go. And of course the old Mighty Max Nemesis. For him, in the Axis Conglomerate, I decided to make him a High Dread Priest of Azathoth. So therefore you have the black and red theme, and give him a bony white skin color with copper swords and all. And you can't see it here, no matter how I try to focus it, but try to give him a crazed look with his eyes. So there you go, adding more to the Axis Conglomerate. And for these three is a new group. I decided to call them the Max Mighty group. Yes, I know, Mighty Max, Max Mighty. You know, not very original, but that's my childhood. And decided to give him like a Jedi suit and paint him like a crow with red eyes. I don't know if you can see that actually. Can you see that? Hopefully you can. And basically this part here is giving him like he's casting a flame. This is from Games Workshop's Knight miniatures. Those Bretonian knights. The where the horse connects to the grass. It's supposed to be grass, but I cut it out, and you see, if you paint it a certain way, it looks like a flame. And just a note on painting flames. It's actually always the reverse. You paint the shading on the outside and the highlights on the inside, because some flames always burn bright on the inside. So there you go. That's the crow. And the bodyguard. For him, decided to give him a commando look. Standard commando look, darker skin, padded arms, standard. So there you go. And of course Max Mighty himself, or rather Mighty Max. Now there's several other the miniatures I didn't paint up yet, but these are the core ones I like, my favorites. And I like this one because it's a rope. There was two I have with a gun and a net, but I feel like in Mansions of Madness a rope would be very effective, so I decided to paint that. And can't really get the color, but I decided to paint it like his eyes were the like the green-eyed boys, so it's all green. It's like a bright green dot for the iris. And his shoes are like my shoes, Air Jordans, red with the black. So there you go. Oops. There you go. Alright, and there you go. So that's explaining my theme for my Mighty Max miniatures, my new investigators, or rather you can use them as even cultists if you want. New investigators for Mansions of Madness. I hope you enjoyed, and till next word.